Good morning. Welcome back into Wake Up America. I'm Rob Finnerty. So it was another interesting day on Capitol Hill yesterday. The presidents of three of the nation's most prestigious universities testifying about not only the rise in anti-Semitism on college campuses, but university-condoned pro-Hamas protests and rallies on campus in many cases. But our next guest, as you just saw, used her time to question the president of UPenn for paying then-former Vice President Joe Biden $400,000 a year for essentially doing nothing. As you just heard, he didn't teach a class. He wasn't required, contractually at least, to appear at anything. For more on this, let's welcome in Illinois Congresswoman Mary Miller. Great to have you on this morning.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So take us through this. Schools, they do this all the time. They'll pay a big name just so they can say that that big name is affiliated in some way with the school, in this case, the former vice president. What was different about the deal that Joe Biden worked out with UPenn?
Well, first of all, the University of Pennsylvania has gotten millions of dollars from anonymous Chinese donors. And back in January of this year, Representative Comer, who heads our oversight committee, he requested, he wants to know, where that anonymous money came from. And so, number one, we have that problem because of Joe Biden's connections to China anyway. And then everybody knows that he did not teach political theory for 4 years at the University of Pennsylvania. And I actually want to call on anybody that sat in his course, political theory course, for 4 years to come forward and tell us that they sat in his course. And also, can you even imagine what his political theory course would be? It would have to be subtitled, How to Destroy a Nation in 4 Years, a great nation in 4 years.
Yeah, a lot of theories, certainly, most of them bad. You mentioned the anonymous Chinese donations that poured into UPenn after they hired Joe Biden. Again, that's not totally unusual. Colleges and universities accept money from foreign countries all the time for various reasons. But the timing, again, Joe Biden, China, given their connections, Hunter Biden, what don't you like about that?
Well, just as we're uncovering all this information of Joe and Hunter Biden and the rest of his family members getting money that's connected to China, all their shell companies that are set up, and even Joe Biden's policies, which are tipped toward China and Ukraine. I mean, in my opinion, he's owned by them, and he's tipping our policy scales in favor of them instead of our own country. But universities are supposed to register their donations. And they're claiming this is an anonymous donation, large anonymous donation from China. Kind of interesting, too, how many Penn State employees are in Joe Biden's cabinet, or the president is now the ambassador to Germany. It's just very suspect.
Yeah, it just sounds crooked and dirty, but does any of it rise to being illegal, in your opinion?
I think the whole picture is going to show that Joe Biden is corrupt and he's owned by China and Ukraine both. So I think that this is just more fuel to put on, the fire, basically, that's burning under Joe Biden and his entire family.
Well, and let's be honest, Congresswoman, we've just got about 30 seconds left, but this is apparently leading to impeachment. And I'm just wondering what happens next. There is an inquiry underway right now that might move forward toward formal impeachment. When do you think that happens, if it does happen? Because now we're on the clock. We're 11 months from Election Day.
I think it will come up next week, and I think we'll begin the inquiry, and which will allow us to get way more information. And I think the truth's going to come out. So many people have been covering for him. A lot of media covering for him. The Department of Justice. I mean, the whistleblowers have come forward saying that they wanted to come forward with information. All these banks that came forward to tell us that they saw suspicious donations going into these shell companies, and then that was information that was tamped down by our Department of Justice to cover for the Biden family.
All right, Congresswoman Mary Miller, we appreciate you being on with us this morning, and we'll have you back. Thank you.
You're welcome.